take a moment and ask our first panel answer to give a quick introduction, a 1 minute introduction, which going to have a good interaction with us so that we can start the conversation.
Sure. Thank you, Tanya, for that. Tanya, quickly, I'll take a moment and introduce myself. I had HR for a 3D printing company. I look at a different center of excellence for HR, and that's my role. If you look at the bigger vision of why HR for me, it's about how I'm able to empower the future and empower change at a bigger goal of the company or for the country altogether. And I think that's one thing which I want to talk about myself is that through this role it is not just empowering myself but empowering the bigger vision. So that's about me, HR for a company, and I look forward to collaborating with more people and learning.
Thanks, Asu, for giving a quick introduction about yourself. Without wasting our time, we will move to Darika to give a quick introduction about herself.
So coming to my introduction part, I'm an HR professional carrying 1.5 years of experience into recruitment. Apart from that, I'm a content creator on LinkedIn with over 700K plus followers, wherein I create content revolving around interview preparation, personal branding, communication, and much more. Um, Over to Anushka.
Thanks, Darika.
Thanks,
Anushka.
Danica. Thank you. And if I talk about myself, so I've been with the Amex family from the last 2 years. The first year being into Core American Express, and the later being into Amex GBT, which is their travel division. And I've been a core talent acquisition professional, all into recruitment, which is again a part of HR. And if I talk about social media, then I've been active on LinkedIn, been a content creator from last 1 year, I guess, with near about 200K followers on LinkedIn, posting about recruitment trends, common interview questions, and guidelines for people who are looking for jobs. So yeah, that's all about me.
Thanks, Anushka. Thanks, Darika and Arthur, for giving a wonderful one liner or like small introduction about yourself. Now, I'll just quickly introduce myself. My name is Tanya, and I am a top LinkedIn voice and the career coach, which help people to get their interviews cracked very quickly and help in making the resume. I am very active on LinkedIn. I'm very old. Like I feel like I'm the oldest amongst you all. I am a LinkedIn creator for almost 5 years. I am creating content since the day I started working. So although it was not my forte, but I started and here I am, a LinkedIn creator who is working to enhance people knowledge about how to give interviews and prepare for the same. Moving ahead, so now we are done with the introduction and we'll just talk about today's topic, which is build your personal brand as an HR creator, since we all are the HRs here and we are building our personal brand. So in today's dynamic professional landscape, individual HR are not just administrator but strategic partners in shaping organization culture and success. As we all are part of HR, we know how the recruitment works and how it is important to get a right candidate into the organization. It matters. It shouldn't be like getting any candidate into the organization and will just sail the boat. No, the right fit is what we need. So personal brand, how we will be able to understand that the candidate or the person is the right fit. So that's how we as a HR are growing. To thrive in this evolving HR professional must be cultivating a strong personal brand that reflect their expertise, values, and vision. Because if we being an HR doesn't know what our values and expertise are, we won't be able to excel in that part. So this panel discussion is more into the strategies and the best practices for building a compelling personal brand as an HR creator. So there are a few questions I'll be putting in front of you guys. Okay, so moving on to the first question, we will be asking it to ask her to put her views and expertise over this question, right? So the first question we are having is, what unique skills or passions do you bring to your role in HR, and how do these contribute to the success of your organization?
Okay, Tanya, that's a very nice question. Uh, I'll quickly rephrase it to what is unique to not just HR, but what is unique to what you bring to the table as an individual in any domain, right? From HR to marketing to whatever we do in life. And I would say uniqueness is also not from the perspective of just the skill set. You build a particular skill set in your journey when you're exposed to it. And I'll go back to how I started my career. And this was way back when I started as a factory HR. And this was 10 years back. Yeah, I think I'm the oldest in the room right now, but yeah. And that's how I started creating content just after I was exposed to LinkedIn as a platform. And this is way back of when I was studying and completing my masters. I said that personal branding is super important. It is not just important for you to project yourself, but your thoughts of and what you want to really create for the bigger goal of the society. And the power of LinkedIn is too much. Like, it's great. You get to connect with so many people who are not just listening to your thoughts, but also at the same time resonating, reflecting, and coming back to you, which is great. And I see that I was able to leverage a lot of, I would say, important things from LinkedIn, not just growing my connect, but also talking about content which is HR centric, at the same time relevant to what it is that is building a better future for everyone today, trying to seek, learn, grow, develop. And that's how, even if you go back to my page, if you look at my LinkedIn page, I very clearly mention about empowering the future. It is not restricted to any company that I'm working for. It is my own personal goal that as an HR professional, it's important that I am able to empower the future. I'm able to nurture, create, develop people and talent to ensure that any organization that I work with understands that through my vision. And from last, I would say, two companies, right from the startup I worked and the current company I worked, I have renamed HR to people and culture. And the reason I've done that is very clear. You hire talent, you nurture talent, and you create a culture and an environment where you let them become a better version of themselves. So that's clearly what I do for living. And and one important thing, I think, when you talk about unique skills that you bring to the table, it's very important that you're passionate about your work, whatever that be. It could be right from talent acquisitions to talent management to learning and development in HR, all the facets of HR that we know of, right? Right from, I would say, operations also, payroll also. Whatever you do, everything in bits adds to the bigger vision of what you want to become. Let's say my end goal today is to head a conglomerate. It could be any conglomerate, right? From HUL to PNG to any big conglomerate, right? To become that person, it is important that you know operations, you know payroll, you know talent acquisition, talent management, learning and development. And it is important that in the early careers of what you're becoming, you try to gauge that knowledge. So I started my career as an HR professional at the factory, and I was working for the aluminum factory of Hindalco. These are like few years ago, but that is where my fundamental of HR really came from. And being a grassroots person who understood people right from that level, that sentiment, it really built up to a lot of important facets of what I wanted to create. And in the journey of creating better places, better experiences, I moved from, let's say, a factory to a corporate HR at Tata Voltas, then moved to a startup. I wanted to experiment everything. I didn't want to leave anything, I would say, any experience not captured. And that's how it's important that you're exposed to more in HR. And it is important that when you're looking at uniqueness, the exposure of what HR you're learning and what HR you're creating comes from what you're exposed to. Like a startup HR will be exposed to something very different than a structured HR of, let's say, a conglomerate like Tata's, right? To someone who is working for a multinational company like, let's say, Darika, you are working for a bigger brand. right? So every facet of what you do in terms of HR should be experienced. And in the early stage, I would say people should take a leap of faith and experiment and be passionate about what you're doing. Right from acquisition to talent management, give it your best shot. Try your level best to learn something new. If you're not learning something new in that role, it is right to ask for more. And if you're not able to get what you want, it is important that you make your next move. But when you're making your next move, be very sure that you're adding one more feather to your cap, right? And that feather reaches to the bigger goal. And the bigger goal is not about just doing what you're doing today, it's about what you had envisioned for yourself as an individual. So I think I'll pause here, Tanya. I think pretty much I tried to answer that question. And I'll sum it up by saying that the exposure and the passion to become what you want to become in HR as a domain is important. And being very certain of where you're heading and what your end goal is in this journey is important. And having a vision for yourself that is bigger than your company, most importantly, right? Because you will move from X to Y to Z. But what you do, your core fundamental of HR will remain the same. How you look at people problems, how you're looking at engaging people will remain the same. Tools might change, experience might change, approach might change, but the fundamentals will remain the same. So I think that's what I would want to pause at.
Definitely, Asar, what a wonderful answer. We just feel the same being in HR. We all are at different levels, different years of experience, having different experiences with ourselves. But what is common is like keep a vision to grow yourself is in HR, and just keep on growing from everywhere. Learning should never be stopped like I have learned enough. No, this should never be the thing until and unless you are done with your working experience. Thank you, Asir, for giving such a wonderful answer. Moving ahead to the next question, we will be going ahead to Darika. And Darika, question for you is: in today's digital era, how do you utilize platform like LinkedIn, Twitter, or professional blogs to showcase your expertise and connect with others in the HR community?
All right. That's an interesting question, Tanya. So, coming to the first part of the question, when I talk about LinkedIn, I feel number one has to be, posting content in your niche area. I see a lot of people posting, literally anything, but not something, which they're passionate about or which their actual domain is. So, number one has to be that. Then, secondly, participating in LinkedIn audio events. So, when you participate in LinkedIn audio events, you get to meet a lot of people. That's how I met Tanya Estes. We, were part of some podcast wherein I, got to interact with them, and that's how we are here. So number two has to be this. Number three is engaging in comments. So I make it a point that, for example, if there's any person or maybe someone from the HR community specifically who, comments on my post, I make it a point to drop them a CDM saying that, hey, thank you for adding value to my post. Is there anything that I can help you with? So I think my takeaway from this is to give more than you ask. So that's how I was able to, build my HR community by, engaging with them over comments or to networking events. I recently attended a global hiring summit organized by Geeks for Geeks, wherein I, got to interact with a lot of TPOs, HR professionals. And when it comes to Twitter, so Twitter is very tricky when it comes to, content and everything, wherein, people usually post regular updates on a real time basis. And so through that, I think Twitter Space is an option wherein you can interact with HR professionals. Um, that's it.
Okay, thanks, Darika, for sharing your experience, how you are growing in your network. Moving ahead to Anushka. So, Anushka, question for you is: can you share some example of a piece of content you have created that resonated with the audience and helped to establish your thoughts with leadership in HR?
Sure. So, being a talent acquisition professional, you have certain kind of advantage knowing, like you have a proper idea what kind of questions people are going to be asked, what kind of questions you are going to ask, what kind of answers you are looking for. So, not to give away the actual essence of it. But again, I've been creating content, giving on tips about how you can prepare for the interviews. There are very typical set of questions that are asked by every recruiter. Like at any point in the interview, it could be your hiring leader or the recruiter. They always have those set of questions which are like mandatory. So if you have like a good preparation for those particular questions, I've posted content regarding that. Then also I've posted content for people who like the actual way where you can actually reach the recruiters, the particular way for applying for a job. It included examples like sending thank you notes after an interview and how you could follow up, don't bombard the recruiter with messages and tips like that. So this is what I've been covering up on the professional front. But something that I've covered up also with my content that I've not seen many people do, I've posted about psychological safety as well in the workplace, and I've covered how this particular factor is so important, although not very known to big organizations even today. And I've written about that as well, which my audience has very well interacted with, which was very overwhelming for me. That now something that I wanted to share on an emotional side, and people are resonating with it. So that's about my content on both the professional and also the personal front.
That's great to hear, Anushka. That was something different which I actually heard about psychological thing, which is actually not being taken care by many of the big organizations, many of the top organizations, which is not taking care of that. I actually liked it. Would love to collaborate with you on that part then.
Sure, sure.
Okay, one thing, we all are creator in HR, right? We are creating different tips and posts for our audience. But one, this is a personal question. Do you guys think that people are actually doing their following their these tips and actually sending that LinkedIn note or thank you note or anything which we are posting, which is actually required? Do you think people are doing it?
You mean thank you notes on the messages that you get or the connects?
Anything, like once you are done with your interview, thank you for scheduling the interview, or follow up emails. Like we usually, we Anushka, Darika, me, we are posting such kind of tips, like you
Hmm.
should do this. So do you guys think, like being into the recruitment and following it on a daily basis, do you think people are actually following it? And what are your thoughts on that? It's just a post, or people actually do resonate with it?
I think the kind of content that I create is more about leadership, change management, org design, recruitment, yes, but that's something that I don't closely look into. I have a team for that. But having said that, I think people do resonate with a lot of good tips. They would love to see that side of what the HR looks into. And every thank you that they write, I'm sure that they're trying to use your network to get more display or engagement on that. So it really helps, is what I would say.
Yeah, because I remember the time when I started my career. At that time, people were very shy to send even a follow up mail after the interview. And the mentality of the people, or the thinking, or the perception, I would say, of an HR is they ghost people, right? So, this was the main
इन
reason I
दोस्त करके
started.
दिखाओ लिंक्डइन व्हाट यू से ग्लास डोर और एडमिशन बॉक्स पे कमेंट आएगा कि रिक्रूटर ने घोस्ट किया है मुझे.
Ghost कर रहे हैं.
I am very scared of those comments. So definitely my team will never ghost. They write saying ki you are shortlisted or not shortlisted.
No,
Clear.
this is my personal experience. Whenever I post anything related to HR, na, I
Yeah.
get a lot of bashing that
Hmm.
HRs are just for the rangoli making, or they just will say, "I'll let you know, we'll call back to you, you will get back to you." These are the common words, slangs which HR generally use. So I feel like I just wanted to
Mm.
interact and understand, do you guys also feel like if you're writing something from the HR's perspective, or telling about how HR feels and how HR is working, do you guys also getting such kind of bashing as a creator? Or am I the
I
special one?
No, Tanya, I'm sure every HR personal is getting this kind of backlash on their post, and even in general, not even just in post, but in general as well.
In
But I
person, in
feel that
person.
In person too. But I feel that when we post, there has to be some kind of understanding from the other side as well. People need to understand that we have 100 to 150 people, on our tabs every day. People need to have some kind of patience and some kind of, consideration for us as well. So that is what also I try to convey a bit via my post, that there's always, a flip side to it. We are also in this whole circus of recruitment, so there's always, there needs to be a balance. So if you are expecting us to be very proactive, please do understand that we're also managing a lot of things and all. Although I do understand that people get anxious after an interview, that we need to know the results and all. I do get all the curiosity and the anxiety, but again, just have some patience, be calm, and we will actually get back to you.
Definitely,
I very
definitely.
wisely use the TAD. I'm like, look, 48 hours lagega.
Yeah.
Just time. But yeah,
Nice, nice.
I'll get back to you at least once a day.
Yeah.
That's a nice,
Without
nice
fail.
trick. 48 hours start will be
Yeah.
taken, and we'll get back to you after 48 hours or within 48 hours. So, anybody else wants to add anything on their views on this question? Like, if they can share any of the piece of statement or content which they have shared and it actually resonated with the audience.
I think for me, there has been a lot of topics. There's nothing specific, but I think once shared certain interview tips. So, when you tend to go blank, like, you're in an interview and you get anxious and unable to answer. So I think that was that one piece of content that the audience actually resonated with. And my DMs were flooded saying that, ma'am, we actually implemented this and it worked out for us. So, I felt good because if this is something that I actually applied during my interviews, and if it is able to help someone else, it's amazing.
Great, great, Darika. Okay, so taking the ship ahead and moving to the next question. So, this question is building trust is crucial in HR, and how do you ensure authenticity in your interaction, both online and offline, while building your personal brand? So, I would love to take this question for myself and would love to answer this. So, building a trust is it not in HR, in any of the field you are, it is very important to authenticate yourself. When we are doing anything online or offline, we have to authenticate ourselves that yes, it is ourselves. And how we are building it, we build it with our work only. We as a creator working on different portals, like somebody's a creator on LinkedIn, somebody is a creator on Instagram or YouTube creator. There are many, somebody is a Twitter creator as well. So how they are bringing the authenticity by their post, by their connection, how easily they can connect with their audience, and how easily they are able to resonate with others. As Anushka mentioned, as Darika mentioned, and Asar mentioned, that we have to connect with the people, right? Until and unless we are not connecting with them, we are not able to build any kind of relation with them. It's like a Facebook. Until somebody is added in your profile, they can't see anything about you, or your private Instagram. They can't know about you, right? Somebody is not known to you. Similar way, in a creation journey, you have to be, you have to prove in initial days, you have to prove your authenticity, that yes, you are doing great and you are the one who is doing this work. And if I have to search somebody for, say, I want a career coach, and I have one name in my mind, that yes, Darika could help me. So that impression, that first name could come as Darika or Tanya or Anushka or Asav. So that worst thing which is coming in my mind through their post only, through their authenticity which the people has actually created, we as a creator has created on the portal, right? So that people can come to us and follow us and resonate with us. So authenticity and building a trust is very crucial, because if you are posting anything, any random thing, the people will not resonate with you until and unless you are a king of that particular area. That's it from my side. Anybody else want to add their point of view on this thing?
Sure, I would like to add. So, Tanya, for me, being authentic and letting people trust you comes from the kind of experience that you're trying to build for them. And in the journey that we are on, all four of us, being the people and culture lead for our companies, the experiences that we create by interactions should be so real that people should believe that, okay, if this person has committed or this person has mentioned that he or she is looking into it, they genuinely are looking into it. So being authentic is not about just projecting it, but being real of who you are. And I think all of us would agree to the fact that the content that we create is a part of us, right? It's one aspect of how we look at things and how we think. And it's me who's talking. If let's say any one of us is talking about a content piece in leadership and recruitment, it's one experience of your life that you're sharing, and that one experience is building to that, and you're projecting your life on that platform. You're really believing the fact that people who are listening to you, reading your comments or following you understand that aspect. So trust is only built when you are being real to your audience, and when you're being real to your audience, you're projecting the exact thoughts that you think is making the difference to the person who's reading there. And that's how I look at how authenticity and trust could be built. It's about being real. It's about sharing the experience that you have in true sense of it, without sugarcoating or adding any kind of diluted version of that information. Just because we think that the audience might like, no, it's about what you experienced, what you felt, and what really made sense to you at that given point in time. I was going back to my notes that I wrote maybe 4 years back, and that time I used to not post everything on LinkedIn. I used to only post what I felt like. And when I'm reading my notes and I'm talking to myself, I'm like, oh wow, this is such a good piece of work that I have done, but I never posted. And that's what it should be. You should be able to reflect back to your own thoughts. When you look at your own post, you should be happy about it. Like, you made that difference, you made that impact, and people who read it thought about it from your lens. You were able to change that one aspect of the person's thought, and that really matters. All of us in our journey of creating content, if we can make the slightest change in someone's life with the kind of content that we're creating, I think that's the mark of it. Yeah. I would feel that I have achieved it if I've made even a single sense to someone one day at at a given point in time. So that's my bit of adding to what Tanya said.
Definitely, sir. This is the basic thing of creating authenticity is like being real, right? If you don't feel it, what you post, you don't mean it, right? And this is just for the sake of writing. You are writing it, or you are. If I talk about the reels on Instagram, you are just for the sake of making. You are making it because you don't care about it. What you care about is just posting. You don't mean the motive behind it should be to change somebody's life, at least for once. It should give that benefit to that person for at least once, right? I feel like if somebody can crack one interview through my tips, why shouldn't we do it? Right, we all learn from our experiences, and if we are not sharing it, it doesn't mean it. Because if we four are sharing our experiences, we four are having different experiences, so collaboratively we will be having four tips together. But individually, working in a silo or working separately, just keeping our experiences with ourselves, we are not going to help anybody. And this is how I feel like the creator or the influencer should be able to influence somebody with their thoughts, right? Okay, a good discussion till now. I feel like to have a more discussion on this topic only, but we have many more questions. So moving ahead to the next part, we have a very interesting topic, which is collaboration. We as a influencer or the creators, collaboration, what we feel about it. Any one word which comes to your mind when you hear the word collaboration?
I don't know
Essential.
why, but meetups came to my mind.
Okay. Astra, I'm sorry, I missed your word.
I said it's essential. Without that, it's difficult. Collaboration is the key.
Okay. Anushka?
Yeah, so it just came to my mind like a statement, like meeting of the minds. I don't know why I just thought of it when it came to
Okay, what
collaboration.
comes to my mind was giving back. I don't know why. But all of a sudden it came giving back. Collaboration through which we can give back to the people. Okay, so moving to the question. So, collaboration is the key in the HR field. And how do you identify and develop strategic partnership within the HR community to expand your network and influence? Anyone wants to take this question?
I'll take this up. So I think number one can be building an HR community. So I see a lot of people creating WhatsApp groups wherein they have like-minded people. One can help them with hiring, one can help them with, maybe job postings or someone else, or maybe, create a network of maybe IT professionals or something like that. So I, recently got added into a couple of groups wherein you can actually, so you mentioned that giving back to the society. So making use of the connections that you've already built over time and helping the people. So I think that is how people usually collaborate. And apart from that, podcast, events, um, all of these things.
Okay, nice, nice, Darika. Because nowadays I feel social media is so active, specifically LinkedIn. There was a time when Facebook was active. There was a time when Twitter was active. There was a time when Instagram was active. But I feel nowadays LinkedIn is very active. Recently, I just got an award as an emerging influencer. And when I got an award, the anchor actually said, this is a very unique field that you are a LinkedIn influencer, because we have heard about Instagram influencer, YouTube influencer, but LinkedIn influencer, nobody has ever thought about it, that people are growing here also. So this is a good opportunity where we can share our experiences and collaborate with other people. So social media is actually giving us a leverage to connect with the HR fields, because we feel ki HR is a very small, HR is having a very small world. Somebody somewhere will connect with you anytime, it through any situation, right? And collaborating this give I'm sorry, collaboration gives us this opportunity to connect with different people sitting at one place, right? So we all are at different places, but connecting and sharing our views is also collaboration, which actually going to help people and understand how we started our journey as a creator, and how we developed our skills, and how we are helping or giving back to the people, right? Anybody else wants to add their views on
Yeah,
this?
I think I'll quickly take a moment. I think the role of HR is all about collaboration, right from talking to the CEO to talking to the marketing team, operations team, production team, all the possible teams, business head, founder, right from the security to the contract employee to the CEO. HR talks to everyone. And the job doesn't exist if you're not the person talking all the time. We are solving problems day in, day out, right from day one issues to exit dates. Everything is controlled in an organization and managed by one of the HR professionals, right from the back end to front end to everything. HR knows it all.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. And I
collaboration
feel
के बिना तो कुछ काम ही नहीं होगा. You need to talk to people every single time. I
right.
think
And
what
I
we
feel
are getting paid for is talking half of the time.
exactly, exactly. And I feel that HRs is being considered as HR. No recruiter, no sourcer, no operations, no payroll team, nothing. HR is HR. If we have any
Right?
problem, we will reach out
100%.
to our HR.
Right.
Doesn't matter
No
which HR.
problem. Doesn't matter. You will solve payroll queries also. You will solve day one problem also. You will solve everything.
True,
अप्रेजल
true,
नहीं हो तो
true.
भी किसी को पकड़ के बता दो.
लीव
That's
अप्रूव नहीं
what it
करी
is.
मैनेजर ने तो भी बता दो एचआर को.
मैनेजर से प्रॉब्लम है, नई प्रॉब्लम है, तो भी एचआर को पता होगा. एचआर को सब पता होता है.
Definitely, definitely. Nice, yeah. This session and this discussion is going a
But
hot
yeah, just to
topics.
add, removing the fun side of it, but I would say that we should leverage the power of collaboration as HRs, because this role that today we are in is a very influencing role. You are interacting with all kinds of people, and HR will definitely know the pulse of the organization very well if he or she is collaborating very well. And that is a power of the role that we are into, because marketing has external internal stakeholders. Every team has internal external stakeholders. HR for that matter has the most number of internal stakeholders, right? And we deal with all kinds of talent. We also look at external talent to see what exactly we need to hire, and internal we look at the kind of people that we need to develop, grow, learn, promote. So there's a lot of insights that this role requires you to become, and to really I would say fully utilize uh, this kind of opportunity is to collaborate at every given point in time and leverage it, most importantly.
Definitely. Until and unless you are networking with people, and you are actually just networking with people, we are not collaborating. There's a huge difference networking and collaborating. Networking, somebody just adding into our network and we are not fully utilizing it, or having gain some knowledge from that person, from their perspective. It is very important because nowadays many everything is having a con and a pros, right? So if we are able to connect with the people, we should connect or collaborate in any way. And that is the thing which we are learning and we as a creator are started doing these days. So I guess this is very well what we are focused on, and should continue the legacy and work on the same. So, moving ahead to the next question. So, if any one of you can share their personal experience where your personal brand is in HR, right? So, professional journey as a HR professional has opened doors or created opportunities in your career journey.
Yeah, I would like to take it up. This was last year. I participated in Jombe 30 under 30, and I think it was important at the kind of career stage that I am at to participate more often on platforms which give you the opportunity to talk and use your personal brand. And I would say ki, my journey, which I started way back in my college days, uh, to today has been really helpful for me to talk about, create that personal brand, right from talking about, let's say, HR topics to talking about fundamental problems at workplace, or even sharing my own personal experience of how I manage HR, did add a lot of value to really the kind of profile that I was building for myself. And that helped me to really become the HR 30 under 30 for Jombe and the role that I'm working for. So I think leverage the kind of experiences that you have, participate in all good platforms that today the HR world is offering. To become an influencer, definitely you need better reach and followers, but you also need to build the quality content that you're looking at. And to build that quality content, you should be able to leverage the kind of platform and visibility that today HR world is offering. Jombe being one of them, I think good platforms for anyone who is an aspiring HR professional to participate and create a personal brand. It adds a lot of value to, I would say, your own profile on LinkedIn and everywhere else.
Yeah, because I feel LinkedIn is growing rapidly and we should work on ourselves as well. And when we talk about personal branding, it should be something like we are working on ourselves. As Arthur mentioned, the quality, it matters. what we are sharing, because nowadays there are many LinkedIn creators who are sharing the same tips. So what actually make us different from them, that matters. How we are able to differentiate us from them is through that quality. So always, I would suggest, always work on yourself as well, not only just putting your thoughts and sharing your experiences. To enhance or to make better experiences or give a tip better tips to your audience is through working on yourself, working on your certifications, your identity, how you are able to justify. When we talk about the candidate, there is one candidate who is able to stand out of the crowd. That one is what we need to do as well on ourselves. So this is as a creator or as a person, this is for our self development. And
Okay.
Darika, Anushka, would you like to add some thoughts on this, or should we move ahead?
Yeah, I have wanted to add one thing. So when you mentioned that, as Esther mentioned, her experience 40 Bombay. So for me, it was so I recently got the opportunity to, work on a project as a mentor for, one of the colleges of Delhi University. So they had a project where they wanted expertise of an HR for, hiring and other things. So I think that it really helped me, and I could use my expertise and help them. So I think that was a great opportunity that I got to closely work with them on a project and help them with whatever I could do. Then I was also invited as a speaker last year by WEF. So that is also something that I solely got on the basis of the content that I've been creating on LinkedIn. So of course LinkedIn is going to grow in the coming years. um, that's what I wanted to add.
Definitely, it's a great stage to get your position and keep enhancing your skills. That what I
I
can
would like
say
to
as from
add
my
here
personal experience.
because yeah, I would say कि LinkedIn branding also helps to get the right job, guys. As an HR
Exactly.
professional, it's very important how you're projecting yourself as an HR. You will reach faster, better, quicker, whatever term that we want to put as a word. If you are a content creator on LinkedIn, it's as easy, right? You have cracked 50% of your interview by projecting yourself as a LinkedIn content creator. I'm being honest.
Yes, but I'll share a personal experience. My colleague used to make a fun of me when I started posting on LinkedIn, and they were following me, and I was like, I was just getting clicked one picture, because posting a picture and a content get a higher reach than a normal post. So I was just getting a picture clicked. So one of my senior was like, "Yeah, she need to post on LinkedIn as well." So I was like, "Are you mocking me?" I got nothing to worry. I just take it lightly, because I feel like some people will be there to pull you down, and some people will be there to pull you up, right? So it's your choice what you take and how you grow as a creator. This is my suggestion to everyone. Okay, so moving ahead and with the closing of this questions and answer series, the last question from my side will be, and what strategy or initiative do you plan to implement or strengthen your personal brand and continue making an impact as an HR professional in the future? I would like to take this because we started discussing discussing on this only. To continuing from our last discussion, as we discussed, we have to enhance ourselves and we have to keep on working ourselves. This is the only way. This is the only strategies what we can implement to strengthen basically our personal brand and continue this legacy which we are doing, which we as a creator, we as an HR are putting our experience. We have to put the quality in that post so that it should real look like real and feel like that, yes, it is coming directly from my heart and telling my experience and what I feel, what people are lacking in. So this is what I feel. And apart from the strategies, I would say keep on upgrading your knowledge, not in just terms of certification or any kind of the HR things are available. There are many things, HR newses are available regarding the policies which are getting upgraded. So keep upgraded to yourself what is happening in the HR market. There are many basic things people do lack it on. Many HRs also do lack it on. Although it's their regular day-to-day job, but still they lack on the policy, or as in like basic things, how to calculate the PF, how to calculate the gratuity. So these are the basic things we being an HR just take it for granted, and we don't understand how do we calculate the CTC. What is the difference between gross salary and net salary? There are many basic things. So keep on upgrading yourself, making sure that you excel at every level. And if you are lacking somewhere, learn it. There is no point of stopping and thinking that I learn everything and I know everything. I am Mr. Right or I'm Miss Right. No, there is no stop. Every day the policies are changing. Every day the things are getting changed. समथिंग इज कमिंग अप, ग्रेचुटी में चेंज आ गया, पीएफ कैलकुलेशन में चेंज आ गया. रिसेंटली देयर वाज अ चेंज इन द पीएफ थिंग दैट यू डोंट नीड टू गेट your transfer, your PF transfer, old PF account transfer to the new one. It will be merged automatically. Many of the people might not know it. So how we as an HR, because this is the HR things, how we are able to tell that the people, there are finance creators. Has anybody listened about HR creator? No. So we being an HR, we are creating the things, right? We are telling people that these are the things you have to do while taking a leave from leave, as in like leaving the organization. What all documents there will be required in the coming in the new organization, or for your personal thing, filing an ITR, what all thing you will need. So this is how we have to keep ourselves upgraded so that we can make a quality in our post, and it will enhance our skills and we will be able to grow in that particular field.
Yeah, Tanya, I think I agree with you. And if I talk about what I have thought for myself as a content creator, so for the coming year, I've thought of, since you have a good reach, I have a good reach, I've thought of focusing on diversity and inclusion and women returning to work. So this is what I've thought about posting in the coming days. So if I talk about diversity and inclusion on the level of an organization as well as a whole in the recruitment trends, I see that many corporate houses and many companies are now very much focused on DNI hiring, and this is something that I've really seen. It's a good trend, and this is something that I would really like to let people know more about it, and let the people of the LGBTQ community as well. They should also feel very much included. So when I was with Amex last year, we had a whole Pride Circle dedicated to it, and we had a proper hiring drive for the LGBTQ community. So which was a great initiative again. And if I talk about women returning to work, so there's been this project that I've been working on. As you know that we have women who take career breaks, not been working for like a couple of years. There could be a lot of reasons. Somebody got married, somebody planned a family, or any possible reason. So motivating all these women coming back into corporate, getting their skills brushed up, and being back to their old roles, or probably take up a new role, and motivating them, letting them know that it's all okay, you're all welcome here. So this is what I've been focusing on. This is what the initiatives and strategies I have thought for my content creation in the coming year.
Perfect, Anushka. It's a wonderful idea because yes, all of the organization are focused on LGBTQ hiring, returning women. Not only returning women, there while working with KPMG, I there was a new thing that was returning men as well. That there could be reasons that some of the men took a break for their education or for family reason, anything. So there is this opportunity as well, Anushka. There is a mentality that this is from the LGBTQ society, or the person is returning women, though she might be not able to give proper time because she might have a kid at home, she has to take care of her house. So there's a mentality. So we have to change both. being an influencer, we have to influence that mentality that everything is normal, there's nothing different. We and you are the same people, and we are working in the same, we are getting paid for it, whatever, for whatever the work we are doing. So Darika, Esther, you want to add something?
Yeah, at a moment, this year I commit to work with more founders and collaborate on content which is original to make it more impactful. The other bit, which I think as HR or people and culture should we also talk about, is all facets of HR, right from recruitment to employer branding to talent management to learning and development, all the center of excellence. Because from the outside in, that is from right from a candidate experience to an employee experience, HR sounds very bookish, right? But the kind of experiences that we are creating really matters, and it's important that you project all facets of HR. Let's talk about talent management law. Let's talk about succession planning, high potentials, how organizations look at talent, not just the fundamental part that we talk about, अच्छा hire कैसे करते हैं, interview में क्या होगा. It's a good content, definitely. But उसके बाद क्या? What is that 1 year experience that companies are creating? What is that 1 year to-do list that we should be doing to excel our own performance? Initial 90 days phase में क्या करना चाहिए for somebody who's just started off the career? These are important parts of how we are able to create better experiences for people in their own journey. So I will be focusing on all facets of HR, right from, let's say, talent acquisition to leadership development to how to create employer brand for any employer. Today, even that becomes a very important piece that we have to look at, and it's crucial that how we also are able to create a lot of I would say impact from our own experiences. I think, again, coming back to the question that Tanya has asked, I would like to collaborate with all of y'all in all possible platforms that y'all are working on, and I'll focus to reach out to more founders in India and globally to see how we can reach and create original content and make a bigger impact to what we are trying to really become.
Definitely, definitely, sir. And I feel collaborating with ourselves, because since if we look here, we collaborated with Darika separately. Me, Darika, Aster Darika, Anushka Darika. So it was one person who bring us together here, right? So we would like to thank Darika for bringing us together and making this discussion so wonderful that we all learned something from each other. Because until and unless we are not growing, we won't be able to grow our audience. So that's all from my side. Anybody wants to add their thoughts?
I would just want to thank you for hosting this on behalf of
I
all
just
three
want to
of
add
us.
one thing.
Yeah.
Say that you were a great host, and you definitely engaged us very well to ensure that we all are talking our hearts out. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. You've been great. Yeah, thank you so much for hosting this.
Sure. I think after the entire conversation, no one would say that HR का काम ही क्या होता है. Now they know what are we up to, collaborating with people, we're getting content. So I think this sums up the conversation.